Hello, guys. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for tuning in today. Um, Today, I'm going to be walking through what's in my bag. I'm going to walk through my clubs and give a little bit backstory on some of the clubs that I have in my bag, and probably just talk about the bag itself and some of the things I carry on the course. Right. So for the bag, I'm using the Callaway Og 14, the black. I love this bag because it kind of blends into everything else, and it's got a 14-way divider. So I carry 14 clubs as everyone does. What I really like about the bag is it has a lot of space, a lot of storage space, a lot of pockets, a lot of different ways to kind of adjust your bag and fill up your bag. I probably don't use as much of the space, but I like the fact that I have that option in case I want to put anything in there. And I'll probably walk through some of those. But so getting started, I'm going to start with the driver and work my way down the bag. So for my driver, I use um, the TaylorMade Sim 2, right? The Sim 2 Max. I love this club. I have it at a 10.5 degree, but I have it a little bit lower than that. I think it's probably playing at 9.5 right now. It's probably one of my favorite clubs in the bag, only because it's been working better for me lately. I've been working a lot on my driver, so far I would say in the last 1 month, it's probably one of my favorite clubs right now. And it came in the 5S, the Ventus Fujikura, the blue Ventus one. I haven't changed it yet because it actually does work for me. But in the future I might change that shaft. But so far so good. I love the club. Like I said, it's one of my favorite. So. And then going on, I have the 3 wood. Same thing. I have the TaylorMade Sim 2 Max as well in the 3 wood. Same shaft, um, S6S, right? The blue Ventus 6S in the Fujikura shaft as well. I don't use this club as much as I used to. So interestingly, when my driver was off, this was really consistent. So I was using this a lot. But now that I worked on my driver, my 3 wood has kind of fallen off. So for the last couple of months, I haven't been using the 3 wood, but I keep it in my bag just in case I start having troubles on my driver. I have a backup in there, but I haven't used it in a little bit. I use it on the range though. I do work on it on the range, but I haven't actually used it in a game yet. But hopefully I don't have to use it because it's really just more of my backup. I don't use it on the fairway. It's mostly a backup for my driver. But my driver is working now, so hopefully that keeps going. And then going down to my 5 wood. So this 5 wood is kind of interesting. It's probably one of the first clubs I bought when I started playing golf, like three plus years ago. And I bought it off, I think at Academy. It's Deep Red Max X. This is a Wilson 5 wood in the red, deep red shaft as well. It's a men's flex. I don't know what that is, but this club is probably one of my favorite clubs in the club in my bag, and only because it's very versatile. So I use it. It goes about 210 yards, 205 to 10. So I use it a lot on the long par threes or on the par fives. If I'm trying to attack the par fives, this I use it on the fairway a lot, and it's very consistent. It goes very straight. I d- I don't think I'm gonna ever take it out of the bag because it's just very versatile. I use it off the tee. I could use it off the tee on a par four that is a short par four, or if it's a dog leg. If I only need to get it to like 210 or 205, I use this wood a lot. And so it's probably the backup driver for right now because it's just been so consistent. And every now and then we play all the long par fours, the long par threes. And if I need to get it to like even 195. If the wind is blowing at me, I would use this club because it typically goes to 205, 210. If I need to go 190, 195, I might use it sometimes, and it gets on the green. So one of my favorite clubs in the bag. And then going down, I have an hybrid, a 3 hybrid. Again, I bought this a while ago when I first started playing golf. I actually bought it off of a pro shop. I saw it in those buckets and I bought it because I needed an hybrid. And it's been fantastic. It's a Callaway Big Bertha, like one of the old ones, probably like early 2000s. But I like it because I really don't use it as often now. But I use it when I need to get out of trouble, if I need to punch out, if I need to, get behind a tree or whatever, it comes in really handy. And sometimes I use it on the part three as well. It goes about 190, 195. It just depends on how I'm feeling. If I'm not really feeling confident with the three wood, oh, sorry. Yeah, if I'm not feeling confident with the five wood or the three wood, I would use this as a backup for my driver. But I haven't used this club in a long, long, long time. I do use it when I'm in trouble. So when I don't use it, I'm actually happy. If I'm using this club, I'm in trouble. Okay. But again, I've had it for a long time. So I'm going to keep it until, something else comes in. So that's the three hybrid. And then that's my long clubs, right? And then I go to the irons. So I start my irons from six iron. I have a five iron. I don't use that anymore. So I took it out of my bag because I wanted to have the three wood. So I took out the five iron. And then so now I have my six iron all the way down to my pitching wedge. And I use the Callaway Apex, I think 2021 version. And this, I love this club because it gives me a lot of forgiveness when I use it. It typically goes straight the way I hit the ball, so I like it. One thing I did change on all my irons, all the way to the pitching wedge, was I changed the shaft. So I bought my irons online, and so I didn't get them fitted or anything like that. And so the shaft that they came in was a little bit too, it wasn't stiff enough. So it was the regular shaft. So I was misfitting them. So I talked to a guy at the pro shop, and he told me, hey, you might need to look at changing your shaft because I swing pretty fast. So I went in and I changed it to the dynamic gold, the stiff shaft on all my irons, and that made all the difference. I've seen a lot of improvement on the Apex. So I love it. They're pretty consistent. And then going down to my wedges, so I have four wedges actually, and again I went with the Callaway. Callaway is not my sponsor yet, but maybe in the near future they might be sponsoring me. Who knows? But again, I have the 60 degrees, the 56 degrees, 52, and the approach wedge, which is I think 48. So I have four wedges, and again, all of them are Callaway jaws. The Callaway jaws raw. I like them because they're fairly consistent, and I'm not sure the grind on this. Actually, these are all 10S. So these are all 10S. I don't know what that means, but hey, it works for me so far, so I'm sticking to them. Now, one thing I did change also on the wedges is I changed the shaft. Again, I bought the wedges online on Callaway, and it came with the regular wedge shaft. So again, I was having trouble with that, so I changed all of them to the dynamic gold S300. And ever since I made those change, they've been perfect. No complaints from me. Very consistent in terms of the yardage and what the ball flight would do. At least I know what to expect, so that helps a lot. But the only thing I didn't change is my 60 degrees. So I only use my 60 degrees on the green side bunker. I don't use the 60 degrees anywhere else. I'm not very good at it, but in the sand near the green, this is my go-to wedge. Like if I'm using this wedge, I'm in the sand, pretty much. I don't use it around the green. I don't use it to approach the green or anything like that. So I left the original shaft that came with it. It's the Project X Catalyst wedge shaft, and it is a little bit, it's not regular, it's a little bit flexy or whatever, but I like the fact that I can swing hard in the sand and the ball won't fly off the green, right? So that's why I kept it that way. I would say it's my specialty club. I only use it in the sand, in the green side bunker. Very similar to my three hybrid. If I'm bringing it out is because I'm in a situation. So um, it's based on the situation. It's not really based on the distance I'm trying to hit. That's the way I try to approach my game. Some clubs I use them for specific purposes. So a lot of times I might not even use some clubs in a couple of rounds because I don't have that situation, right? Sometimes when we play in a tournament where uh, you get relief off the sand because it's rained or whatever, and the sand has a lot of water, the tournament allows you to bring out the ball, and so in those sort of situations, I don't use uh, my 60 degrees. But again, I love these clubs. I don't think I'm going to change them anytime soon. But if Callaway, if you're listening, if you want to sponsor me, you know, I'll be more than happy to switch to the new ones. I love the Callaway club, so I'm going to stick to them. So those are my wedges, right? And then to the flat stick, right? Now I'm not sponsored or anything like that. So, but my putter is a tailor-made putter. So the Spider GTX in the red. I like this putter because it has a line in here and it lets me align my ball when I'm trying to putt. Um, it's been really, really nice because it also allows me to kind of work on my start line, the way I pull the club back. So I used to have a different putter when I started golfing, but that was a different style of putting. So when I switched to this, I had to learn how to putt all over again. So I spent a lot of time on the green in the range just to kind of get used to this new style of putter. And after that, it's been really, really, really solid. This is probably my favorite club in the bag because I'm always happy to be on the green, right? So, and then the grip is the Spider stroke. I had to change the grip on this one because I needed one that was a little bit bigger based on my hands or whatever, right? So, but this is my favorite club in the bag. My 56 degrees is my second favorite club, only because it's probably the most versatile club that I have in my bag. I use it anything that's less than about 95 yards in or 90 yards in. That's the only club I use. So because I have a bunch of different swings for all those different distances. So it's very versatile. I try not to switch clubs as much because sometimes I forget. So I just want to stick to one. So I would say that's probably my second favorite club in the bag. And my third favorite is probably my driver. Because again, off the tee is the most important for me because I don't want to get any penalties off the tee. That really messes up my hole, right? Or my entire round. So being accurate off the tee is very important to me. And this driver, like I said earlier, in the last couple of months, it's been working very consistent. I play fade. Sometimes it slices. Most times it does slice, but I play for that, right? So it's been consistent that way. So those are my clubs. Those are my irons or whatever. Again, I love the bag, and then obviously you have accessories here and there. I've got the club washer, or whatever. I haven't used it before, but like I bought it because I think it's cool. You can put some water in this, and just use it to wash your club as you're playing. Then I got my speakers. So when I play practice round with my friends, my brothers, sometimes they play music, so I have that attached in there. Obviously, I have my towels as well. I have a couple of towels here and there. This is really more for like the wet ones. This is more like the dry ones. And then obviously my gloves. So I have two different types of gloves. I use the FootJoy gloves, and I also have the Kirkland gloves. So I have an extra one in the bag. I just switch them up every now and then. But those are my two clubs, and then obviously this pocket right here, I have my Sharpie, to mark my balls uh, when I'm playing, and then I've got this accessory here that I bought a while back on a trip. It just holds my tees for easy, quick access. I do have a bag that actually, let me show you. So right here is where I have my balls, right? So everything is quite organized. So these are the extra gloves that I have. Like I said, these are the Kirkland signature. I have it in a Ziploc or whatever. So that's an extra gloves. And then I have a back thing that I have a bunch of balls that I use. So right here, so I use this kind of like quick bag or whatever for the balls I actually play during the round. So I typically have like 3 or 4 balls in here. So I start the round with this. But I'm not a pro. I'm not that good. So I lose balls. So I had 5 in here. Now I only have 2. So these are the ones that I bring out to start the round. And then these are kind of like the backups. Now, historically, I used to lose a lot of balls, on average, like 10 balls around. But now it's probably like down to like 1 or 2 balls around. I'm having a bad game, probably 3. But because when I started, I used to carry like 18 balls, I kind of kept up that habit. So I have a bunch of extra balls in here that I haven't used in a while. But speaking of that, the ball that I actually do play, my main ball, is a Bridgestone. So I play the Bridgestone E12 straight. This ball is probably the best ball I've ever played because I can predict what it would do. It actually does go straight. Like I mentioned earlier, I slice the ball or I fade the ball. So this ball helps me reduce my slice. So it turns into a baby fade, if you will. And it's been very consistent. It goes straight. It checks a little bit on the green, but I'm not too worried about that because I just want to get on the green. I don't have to attack the flag. But it's helped me a lot off the tee. I used to struggle a lot off the tee, getting a lot of penalties of that. So I was really, really looking for a ball that would help me with that. Now, I do have a different ball that I use. So I use the Callaway Warbird as well. So again, this goes straight. Is probably not as good as the Bridgestone. It doesn't go as straight and it doesn't check as much on the green. So those are the 2 balls that I play when I'm playing in tournament or practice round. I used to play the Kirkland ball, but they're a little bit too spinny for me. So off the tee, I lose a couple of distance, probably like 30 yards off the tee. And then they're a little bit too spinny off the tee as well. So it just makes my slice even worse. So I'm losing distance and I'm slicing it more. So I stopped playing those balls. I have a bunch of them, but sometimes I might play them if I'm just playing a practice round. Or if I'm just going on the putting green to go practice, I would take them out to practice. So I don't carry them for my games anymore as well. And then I do have a rangefinder that I use. So I have the Garmin S60 that I use when I'm playing, but now I'm using my rangefinder a little bit more because I want to really aim at the flag sometimes. I want to be more accurate to kind of improve my game, my scoring. So I've been using my rangefinder a little bit more when I play. I still use the watch, but the rangefinder does just makes me a little bit more accurate. It doesn't mean I attack the flag. I just know where the flag is. And then, so this is a pocket, and then I bought this off of Amazon a while ago. Again, I just attach it to the golf cart. It's just kind of like an accessory to hold my phone, so that way I can use greens as I'm playing and whatnot. So it does help sometimes. And then I've got some drink space here. It's a little bit insulated, so that helps. And then here is just again a bunch of other pockets that I have. My hydration pack or whatever, electrolytes. So, and then I put some of my stuff in there in terms of my wallet or whatever, phone, sometimes my keys. And then here's also a pocket in here that I have some first aid stuff, some and hot hands, Claritin or whatever, first aid kit essentially. And then I've got some extra um, electrolytes in there as well. And this is a little bit nicer, so I can put my glasses in there sometimes. So again, some space, for the um, for the head cover or whatever for my bag in case it starts raining. And then I put some jackets in there sometimes. Some, if it's a little bit cold, here's some extra space as well. Now here is where I put my rain gloves. So whenever I'm going out to play, I put my rain gloves in there. I haven't had to use it, but I want to have it in there just in case. So there's extra gloves in there as well. And then I've got my charger again, another bag, my charger for my phone, a battery pack or whatever. Again, it's stored in here as well. And then, so finally, I have this little small bag that holds all my tea, my ball markers, and all this stuff. The Sharpie, the line, alignment line, whatever, my pens, my teas, just a bag that keeps me organized in there. So that's what this is all about. And again, it goes back in this lower pocket in here. And oh yeah, I didn't talk about this. So this is just a brush to kind of help me clean my clubs. And then I do have my umbrella in here that I have attached in here as well. And that's pretty much it. I do. What else do I have? Yeah. So there's another pocket. I have a light jacket in here. Now it's summer in Houston. It's summertime in Houston, so I don't need that jacket. But you never know. So I keep it in there. And then here's is extra pocket as well. I don't have anything in here right now, but sometimes I might put my wallet or my keys or whatever, right, in there as well. So that's my bag. That's what's in the bag for 2025. I like the bag a lot. I do have another bag that I use when I want to carry. So this is more of a card bag. I do use it sometimes when I'm using my stroller as well. So it's very versatile. I like the bag a lot. Um, but sometimes I switch it up because I want a different bag in a tournament late last year. So I use that when I go to the range or if I'm just trying to walk, if I'm playing 9 holes and I'm walking and I want to carry the bag, I would use that bag. But this is my main bag. I've had it for over almost 2 years now, almost 2 years. And so I really enjoy the bag and that's what's in my bag. Um, One thing that I didn't bring out, this is for when I'm trying to warm up prior to a game. If I don't have enough time to go to the range or whatever, and I need to let loose, so I need to loosen up, I use this the trainer. And then this is one of my favorite non-club items in my bag. So this is a ball retriever. Whenever I go out of bounds and I see the ball, I don't want to lose my ball, so I use this. Or if the ball rolls in the water and I still find it, so this comes in a bit handy quite often during the round. So those two things, I never leave home without them. They're very important, especially this one. Can be losing balls every day. So that's my bag. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and make a comment. Help us grow on this channel. I'm gonna be making more videos like this. That's really on the course. So like, subscribe, help us grow. Thank you for watching.